Welcome back to Blood for Flowers by M.C.McNeel, and we are continuing with Chapter 16. So come with me now on a journey through time and space back to ancient Greece. Chapter 16. So it was the day passed by with his wife and Thera with Vasha. Thera had resigned herself to Vasha, so she tried to do as much as possible to encourage her heart and mind, so this requirement of her promise to the king should be as a joy and not a chore. Vasha was well pleased with the change in her attitude, but he resigned this to the fact that she was not in the presence of his king. Had Viacles been out on the ride with them, Vasha knew he would have been totally ignored. However, Vasha did enjoy her smile and stories and brightness in her eyes, so he filled his mighty heart with a deep affection for her, and he would gladly take Thera's attention away any way he could get it. It was just before sunset when all those participating in the breeding campaign returned to the encampment of women who had prepared a feast in honor of the king's gracious hospitality the night before. About 80 or so sat at the long tables the women had arranged in the shape of a U. The king of Sparta sat in the middle of the table facing the party, and seated next to him were the two remaining virgins, who sat beside the men they had finally selected as their partners. So the seating went, each next to the chosen one of their desire. Thera sat nearby with Vasha off to the left of the king, and he kept a close eye on the two. Sitting from afar, not being the object of her attention, gave the king pause to realize just how beautiful and charming Thera was. The king and all who had gathered there feasted upon the delicacies and delicious dishes made by the hands of the women from Themyscira. The food prepared was a marvel to the men, and they delighted on the roasted tender lamb in a crab, feta, and spinach sauce. There were mushrooms simmered in sweet red wine stuffed with crab meat and goat cheese. The goats the Spartans raised did not give milk as sweet as the goats brought from Themyscira, and the goat cheese, which was served baked, coated in crushed almonds smothered in tomato basil sauce, was especially enjoyed by the king. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. He also delighted in a dish of grilled pita bread stuffed with baked cheese, roasted black olives, and tomato sauce. The meal was one, if not the best, the men had ever had in their lives. The men drank the wine, but as for the women who had procreated last night, they did not imbibe, just in the slim chance a life had been created inside of them. Now for Thera, this was difficult, as everyone believed she had sent Vasha on his way without a smile. Fearful she may have a life inside her, Thera refused the wine, saying she wanted to be alert and sober for every move that Vasha would make with her in bed. This served to flatter the admiral. Oh, I can't say it. This served to flatter the admiral, but created much jealousy for the king. Oh, jealousy. So King Viacles arose, having taken his fill of food and Thera's charm and flirtations with his admiral. King Viacles addressed the crowd, giving Thera a few glances. I wish to thank all of you, dear friends and fine ladies. You have prepared for us here tonight the most exquisite, delicious meal. A hearty cheer rose up from all the men. I wish also to pay my respect and honor to you who have come from a far distant land to be with us, to breed with us. Another cheer arose from the enamored Spartan men. I must tell you the immense pleasure I have in my heart here tonight. For though we know you require daughters, we too require sons. So I pledge my allegiance in my name and honor by avowing to you, good ladies, who would give up your sons to Sparta, all the boys of your womb shall be brought back here, and I will ensure they lack for nothing. I will treat them as if they are my own. Their fathers shall be most highly regarded men of all Greece, and we will teach them, we will train them in the art of war. As for our Spartan daughters, you raise in Themyscira, should the threat of war arise, we would ally with you in the defense and protection of our children. Here all stood from their, I'm getting chills. Here all stood up from their seats, applauding the promise of the king. Many smiled and embraced their lovers with the thrill of the prospect of fighting side by side with one another on a blood-soaked battlefield someday to protect their children. However, only future knew a cruel, ill fate finding them fighting against one another on that particular day. One nation would destroy a nation, but as for now, all was love and fair game. Okay, so that's end of chapter 6. Okay, this is all right. I'm so glad I can be back here with you, and I'm glad you like these stories. At least I hope you like the stories. Why else would you be here? So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day and happy holidays. And for everyone in Kentucky, my dearest darling readers, the devastation, the destruction, you will get through this. You have a nation and the world here to support you and protect you and help you. Much love. Always pray. Much love.